Hello, my name is Kristina Ackerman, and I'm the lead branch supervisor at the Wiarton branch of the Bruce County Public Library. Um, Today, we're welcoming a local artist talk with Leopold Baker. In this series, we will chat with the local artists to learn a little more about them and their work. Leopold is a senior high school student artist currently attending the Wiarton District Community School, and he will be featured at the Wiarton branch between January 4th and January 10th, 2026. He is hoping to pursue a career in arts and applied to go to Sheraton for post-secondary and is waiting on an offer. In grade 10, he hosted a solo arts show with the Wiarton branch of the Bruce County Public Library, and Leopold takes interest in many different art mediums, including watercolor, acrylic, pottery, ink, graphite, printing, fabrics, and more. Welcome, Leo. Let's start with a little description of your work displayed here and what inspired this work.
Yeah, so the work here is all part of my specialist program in art for my school in Wiarton. We have an opportunity where students who are selected and apply to it are able to be approved for, it's called a grade 12 specialist program. This basically means that you host your own art show and you create 8 works which are of summative quality, and this can be over a wide variety of mediums. They all have to have a common theme or a common color palette or a common medium between them, and so I picked the theme of identity. So all of the pieces here have to do with how people are represented socially, how they recognize their own identity, how they interact with the world, and everything like that.
Wonderful. And where do you find inspiration for your art?
We're very lucky to be in such like a unique area, and we have a lot of wildlife and a lot of really beautiful scenery. So I like to go outside, especially with some of my pieces here which have to do with the water. I like looking at nature and getting inspired and seeing how we interact with it, and also with how lucky we are to have such a special and unique landscape. I pull a lot of inspiration from that, whether it's the colors or the mediums that I'm inspired by, or the I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like the subject matter usually.
Thank you. And do you have a process for when you create your art?
A lot of the pieces come to me maybe as like an idea. Some of them I've had where it's just I think of like a sentence and I'm like, I wonder how I could build off of that, or I think about like a juxtaposition and how we can represent that with an image. So sometimes it comes to me with, like, right before I fall asleep, I have an idea and I'm like, I have to write this down, and then I build on it later in my sketchbook. And sometimes it's just, I see an image and I'm like, I want to build off of this and kind of go off the cuff from the beginning. Yeah.
Great. And what is, or do you have a favorite part of the process?
A lot of artists say that there's like, they call it like an ugly stage, where whenever they're working on their art, you kind of have to trust the process. My favorite thing is not necessarily the end, but whenever you start to see everything take shape and you're like, okay, I can see how it's getting there, I can see all the details being put in, and it kind of represent what I was already looking for to begin with, and for it to kind of take shape and really become the piece that you're visualizing is such a great feeling. So that's probably my favorite part.
Great validation.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what mediums do you prefer and why?
I like to use acrylic probably the most, because it's fast drying and it's quite versatile. You can water it down and it will look more like watercolor, or you can apply in thick layers and it will dry with a lot of texture, so that's really nice. Oil I don't use very much, just because it has such a long drying time, and often with turpentine and other mediums to make it soluble, it has a lot more chemicals. So acrylic's really interesting because it can be used on a multitude of surfaces and different variety like that, and watercolor doesn't give you the same opaque or the same thick layers that acrylic might.
Thank you. So I'll just wrap us up for our interview today. Thank you for sharing your time and work with us. You can also see a special project that he has on display on the main street in Wiarton, Burford Street, and then it will be relocated to the OAC near the end of the month. And I'm going to let Leo share some ways you can reach out to him if you're interested in his skills or having one of his prints.
Yeah, so I'm doing an opportunity for custom pet portraits. Openings are late February and into the rest of the year. So I do have an email. It's Leo's Customs, Leo's with 2 S's and Customs with 2 S's on the end at gmail.com. Or you can find me on Instagram with the same handle, LeossCustomss. So yeah. And then if you're interested in prints, I'm selling prints of select paintings and pieces of work from this show, about 4 different prints. So you can contact me the same way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.